Man, this is an awesome episode. We got to sit down with Jeremy Yoder with Eye in the Sky, deer drone recovery. And man, we got all his stories, different deer, the biggest deer he's found, all the regulations and what the DNR has to say, we can and can't do. And it is just packed full of information. So stick around for the rest of the show and check it out and tell your buddies about us. Today's episode is sponsored by the Game Plan 2 in Montgomery. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, promotional items, and several other things. Call or text Olivia at 812-787-0507 for a free quote.
Today we have a special guest. I'll let you introduce yourself, but we have myself, Logan, Craig, and Kane, and Jeremy Yoder with Eye in the Sky. If you haven't heard of it, explain it. I mean, it's a drone recovery, right? So
yeah.
Where are you from? Where'd you get started from?
One of the locals to the area here. Montgomery is my hometown, has been pretty much my whole life. But so kind of got started. Me and my cousin we got home from a deer hunt, and we were just at the house, and he mentioned something about a video about this guy finding a 200-inch deer with a drone. So we started, we watched the video, and I didn't think much of it then, but got to watching his videos, and he mentioned several times that he sells these kits to do it yourself, and I was like, well, man, I'm gonna look into this. So I called the game warden in Indiana, and
Is it a local one or just?
Well, yeah, I think I tried to get. I just wanted to talk to the game warden in Indiana.
Yeah,
it didn't matter if it was Daviess County where it was, but I think they were Daviess County game warden.
Just to make sure it was legal. Some even, who knows, northern guys may be like, yeah, I don't know, we don't want to do this.
Well, in some states, I think it's still not legal, right?
Tennessee, Illinois, this is 100% no.
So you called the game warden?
Yeah, called the game warden. They were like, yeah, as far as we know, it's legal to use a drone. What they didn't say is that it's not legal to use an IR sensor to find a deer.
Which is thermal?
Yeah, which is thermal, okay. Infrared or thermal, whatever. Okay. So that wasn't legal last year, and that was kind of a gray area all season.
I didn't know that.
But I actually talked to, I guess it would be like the top game warden in Indiana. He'd be the boss of every game warden in Indiana. And he said, no, you're good. He said, as long as you're looking for a dead deer or what is thought to be a dead deer, he said, you're fine. So after that, I didn't worry about it too much. But I think if they'd have caught me doing it, they could have technically given me a ticket.
So how old were you at this time?
When I started?
Yeah, how long ago did you start?
I started last year.
Last season,
so I'd have been
started
26.
All right.
So when did you buy this drone?
This coming spring would be 2 years.
I see.
Since I've had this.
So you found this kit or whatever?
Yeah, well, Mike Yoder, with Drone Deer Recovery,
yeah,
has a YouTube channel and everything, is who was selling these kits. At the time, they were 18 grand. So, and that was the main reason that I was like, man, I have to make sure that it's legal. I'm not putting that kind of money on the table, no. But yeah, Mike Yoder from Drone Deer Recovery is where I got the kit. So
that's awesome.
And you thought, well, I'm just going to make it a business and just do it all fall, right? Just win it 7 days a week, whenever, if anybody calls you.
Yeah, I was kind of living on a prayer at that time,
hoping people.
It's the last year. It was the first year that you did it. I mean, did it take off pretty quick? How many?
It did, yeah. I got most of my calls last year from the Drone Deer Recovery website. Like they list your name, whatever.
So you're kind of are you under him or just affiliated?
So last year I was under his name until probably mid-October. And then they just they did away with that program or whatever and pretty much said you have to go on your own. Get your own name, everything. So probably from mid-October last year until now, I'm on my own. It's my own.
They're probably trying to cover their own ass, honestly.
Honestly, I always thought it was a liability thing.
Yeah, I mean,
because you have 100 pilots out there flying these drones around. I mean, it's a huge liability.
Where it's all kind of gray in some.
Drone Deer Recovery is the guy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I don't blame him.
Right. Yeah, and I think he gets plenty of business and plenty of viewership on YouTube and everything else.
So then you started. And how many roughly last year did you? How many calls did you get to come out?
I'm gonna say I got 200 to 300 calls, but I was only able to take. I was only able to take probably 70.
That's over 2 months worth of every night.
Yeah.
Or are you doing multiple a night though?
No, so I only ran about 70 of those. Reason I say I probably got 200 to 300 is because those first 2 weeks in November is absolutely insane. I mean, I'm getting probably 20 to 30 calls every single day. I mean, just
Right.
at some like 4 to 5 calls in, I'm just like, no, I'm booked first night. I can't take
right.
anymore. But yeah, those first 2 weeks in November they are just insane. Like,
So that'd be worth just having a couple more and having guys.
I was like, how far of a radius are you going?
How far you travel?
when I'm getting that many calls, I don't have to go as far, but I will go up to 2 hours. Say it's like, October or end of November, I'll go out to 2 hours.
I mean, it's basically you got local guys calling. Forget the far away ones.
I charge more if it's over 50 miles. I charge another 50, and if it's over 100 miles, it's a little more. So,
Okay.
I mean, they still want me to come in most cases, but at the same time, I can't be running 2 hours from home when I have 5 calls at home that I could have gotten, in that time frame that it took me to do that call.
But what if a guy said, "Hey, I just shot a 220"?
I'm going.
I'll pay.
We're going to the big one.
Screw those other 5 calls.
I feel like those guys would be willing to pay even more. Like you find
show up 500 and say, "Hey, $1,000. I found 500."
Sure.
And I had a guy
It's
offer
worth
me 1,000 to find his deer. It was 170. Nothing like you would think it was a 200-inch
Right.
deer, but yeah, he said if I find the deer, he'd pay me 1,000. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. I mean, it was like a day or two later, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these guys are willing to pay big money if
Yeah.
you find the deer. Like,
I realize, heck, you guys did, I did. You put in countless hours of not only just sitting in a tree, but scouting and running cameras and spinning.
Oh,
Well,
you're
maybe
so
God,
many hours
yeah.
into a deer.
It's worth a lot.
once it comes down to that point,
Yeah.
when you think there is a chance he's laying dead, you're not.
This year, like drones, it seemed like blew up basically. So
They did.
So did you have, which I'm sure you did? I don't know if it was enough to affect anything. So like, how many fewer cars did you get this year?
Like there's
So-
so many people that have their own now. Seems
Yeah,
like.
it seems like everybody has it, but they're not all. They don't have like thermal setups and a spotlight
Yeah.
like that.
Those aren't the guys that are affecting my calls. It's just the amount of people out there doing it for other people and I did notice it too, because if I'm in the afternoon is when I normally sleep during the peak season. And if I, am sleeping in the afternoon, I wake up and I call 3 people back. Pretty much every one of those guys would be like, no, I found someone else.
Mhm.
So that's something I didn't have to worry about last year.
Right.
If I
They're itching to find somebody just because you didn't answer.
they call the first guy, he doesn't answer, they're on the phone with another
So
guy.
you didn't sleep this year, is what you're saying.
During the best 2 weeks of November, I'm hunting 2 to 3 hours in the morning. I'm getting home, I'm sleeping the rest of the day until that evening. Then I'm out running calls again. So, yeah, I'm sleeping in the afternoon. That's 3 to 4 hours maybe.
So I forgot to ask to start. What do you do for a regular job when you're not doing this all fall, or do you do this? You just let it run.
This is October and November. Runs into December a little bit, but I do construction probably 6 months out of the year, and then I actually spray with drones in July and August.
Yeah, that's a good variety of things to do.
Yeah.
Keep you entertained.
It is. The deer recovery is by far my favorite. Right? If I could do it year round, I would.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I have to have something else.
It sounds like a great time. Yeah, I
It would be so fun just
Yeah.
watching, even just going with and watching
Yeah.
sometimes.
Well, like one of the podcasts here a couple weeks ago, this is the guy that we had out to find my deer. We weren't able to find the deer, but it was at no fault of his own. The deer was perfectly
Right.
alive, and for all we know, well, I ended up blood trailing the deer. I told you that, and he got off the property in a direction we never went. So
I feel like that deer was just across.
yeah,
Just
if you wanted to stray that way, I was like, he didn't go that way. Come back down. So like, we would have probably found him on that next hillside
Yeah.
right there.
You mean bedded or the one
Yeah.
you shot and it's
The
still
12
alive?
corner, yeah, he was still alive. We got him here just a couple of days ago, so like,
Yeah.
he's still alive and well. But like we would have found him.
I think we were close.
So going back, you got like 200 to 300 last year. You said, less this year, but what? Still getting 100 to 200 now, or
I would say probably 150 to 200 this year.
So yeah, I mean more than you can handle.
I mean,
Still.
that's a guess. I know.
Right.
I know. I took 70 calls last year. Like that's a fact. But there were, I mean, at least that many, if not more, that I couldn't take.
Yeah.
So this year, yeah, I would say it was down a little bit. So, you know,
So
because
what?
of the pilot.
You're getting that many calls. So how many? Like, what would you say percentage wise are you recovering? Half of them? I mean, more
Like
than half?
actually recovering.
Yeah, finding.
Finding the deer, I guess, more right?
Yeah.
It may not be dead.
Yeah. I
Well,
would
yeah.
say
How many times are you finding it either bedded or dead? I guess.
I would say I find 80% of the deer
Really?
I look for, but say probably 30% of those deer are dead. I mean, it's kind of a like a, how would I would say it? Kind of a trophy to find one dead. Like it's
Well, if
It's
they're
kinda
calling
like
you, they
exciting to
obviously
find
made
out.
a
Right.
bad
Yeah.
you
shot.
don't find them dead very often.
Right, yeah, we're calling most likely.
Yes.
We don't think this thing's
Yeah,
dead.
you're calling me for a reason.
Yeah.
How long are they waiting? Are you telling people like we need to wait, at least this amount of time or anything like that, or are they calling right away? I made a bad shot. You need to come find me.
You know, in most cases, they're putting their full effort forth in finding that deer. You know, blood trailing at 700 or 800 yards and grid searching, getting a dog out in some cases, and then they call me and want me to come out and look for it. There are a few out there that just shoot the deer and call me and say, "Come out. I don't know where I hit the deer. It's big. I just
That was what I did.
Which
Yeah.
that would make sense
That's
too,
what I-
because then you ain't pushing the deer off.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how
If he is still alive, you ain't.
it'd be better to
Yeah.
go up here way in the air before you start tracking it
Right.
and bumping them. That's what I'm
Yeah.
questioning. Is I would want to wait to go out. Like you should. If you made a bad shot, you should probably wait at least. If it's in the night.
Well,
maybe.
that's the thing about having the drone is you can come in and not really affect the deer. To the
Right.
point we're just flying over, we locate him. He's still alive. Hey, we're gonna need to give this thing till tomorrow morning.
So-
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But some hunters will be like, so I made a gut shot, I'm thinking I need to just wait until morning to look for them. In that case, I'll be like, well, there's really no point in waiting. Like, if it really is a gut shot, that deer is wounded to the point where it's going to die, we can find it tonight and it's going to be close to the area.
You can at least tell him, hey, this is where he's at. Pinpoint it.
like-
Go back tomorrow sometime.
Yeah.
And
The deer doesn't have to be dead with the drone, is my point.
That leads up to the question I had. Like, do you go back and do follow up?
Yeah.
Like, if let's say you find one that it looks like it'll be dead by morning or whatever, will you go back?
I do, yeah. So this year I had a 193 that a guy had shot, and I went back for I think it was like 5 or 6 days and found this deer in the same exact bed every single time.
didn't move.
It was in the same bed. We found it one time out of the creek bed that it was bedded in, probably 40 yards outside of this creek bed, eating up in I think it was oak trees, probably feeding on acorns. But yeah, in those 5 or 6 days, he was in the same exact bed.
So he had shot the deer,
Yeah,
and then you had went and found that thing.
He was just still not moving far, but he was just.
yeah. So it was actually ended up being a non-fatal shot. We went back like 2 weeks later. We were like, let's just give him some time, see what happens. Went back like 2 weeks after he shot the deer, and he was gone. We looked around; he was nowhere to be found. Then, come to find out, 16-year-old girl ended up killing the deer. Yeah, like a half mile from where he was bedded.
That's
So-
insane.
Well,
Well, that's good on them for not like.
Yeah.
Okay, so this leads into kind of the
Yeah.
rules part. You found this deer; he's still alive, not moving, hurt, maybe injured, obviously. What is the legal rule? What does the Indiana DNR say about after you fly a drone, find a deer, and he's not dead? What's the rule on that? On going back in and trying to hunt him?
finish him off, or
The rule is like if you're going to play it by the rule book, it's let the deer suffer. Like once you find that deer with a drone, you cannot kill that deer. But it's kind of interesting because we called 5 game wardens about this deer. 5 or 6 game wardens we called, and 5 out of those 6 said, yeah, give it 24 hours, like give the deer a 24-hour buffer from the time you find it until you go kill it, and go in and finish the deer off. Well, the 6th game warden that this guy calls he tells him, he's like, look, I want to be clear. He said, this is a 190-inch deer. And he said, I don't want the deer taken away. I don't want a huge lawsuit. And then at that point, he went to his sergeant, and his sergeant said no.
Can't go in 24 hours. Did he give you a timeline?
No, he just said no. Like his sergeant said, don't do it. Like, just stay out there.
Yeah.
So, like, for how long? A time frame? The hunting
No.
season?
They would say
You
it's
can't go
illegal
in
to
there
kill
using that information going in there to hunt that deer.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if you're
Even,
playing it
even
by
if
the
it's on
rules,
the other another part of the farm, like just don't
So-
sit there. Or?
well,
Yeah.
so th-
That's
this is the gray area. But according to the regulations, that deer is out for you to hunt the rest of the season, according to what they say in the regulation book.
On that
Or
property?
On that deer. That deer.
Yeah.
Because it says that you cannot 14 days prior to the season until the end of the season, you cannot use a drone to search for, locate, find
right.
as an aid in killing that animal. So
It's like baiting.
So-
It's like
so
baiting.
if you locate that deer within 14 days of season, you're not legally allowed to
no,
hunt that deer for the year.
nope. And that's why I 100% will not fly our properties. Like if I see a deer with a drone, it would basically be illegal for me to kill it. So
Right.
I don't want to look at a 160 and go kill it and then know and like
Yeah.
if someone
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of stupid to be really honest. Like, I think they need a few more black and white laws on the drone side of it. As far as like, yeah, if you were looking for a wounded deer, you can still hunt that farm. Just give it a 24-hour.
A
Right,
time
that
frame.
kinda-
For at least
yeah.
give it a certain time to
because
die or live.
There needs
Or-
to be, and I'd say it's coming with the explosion of these drones. I'd say that law is coming. I would
Yeah.
hope so. But yeah, because so like you're telling me that I can't go back. You can't go a deer that's injured. You can't even go back and hunt him. So like,
So what if he came by?
So like the 12 pointer in our instance here, that you had helped me. We never located that, and we never.
No, we never
so that
found
was
that
perfectly
deer.
legal.
So he would still be fine to hunt. Yeah.
So maybe they need to make like drone people like you save all. That's what I was telling them before. Like to keep people honest, is anybody officially doing recover it is keep every video you're drawing. When you're flying, you have to like keep some sort of documentation of your videos and what deer you find or whatever. If they're going to get like real serious, that'd about be one of the best ways I think to keep accountability.
I mean, I honestly don't think they're going to enforce that law if you were looking for a wounded deer.
Right.
Like, I don't think they're going to say, so you flew the farm 2 weeks ago and then,
Mhm.
if you're hunting it or whatever. I don't think they're going to say anything.
Do they
If you
have?
were looking
But
for
in
a
the
wounded
situation where that guy shot 190 something deer, that deer's going to get some publicity.
deer, that's a different story.
And if neighbors didn't want, if neighbors
Oh,
had
yeah.
it,
Turn
you know
you
how
in.
you go. So yeah, you never know what that's going to run into. And if it was actually by the book illegal, that he ended up shooting, even if he
And
ended up shooting it a month
so
later.
what happens is you get people that are jealous. And they're like,
right.
that's the people that will turn you in 95% of the time.
Mhm.
And with a deer of that caliber, yeah, everything has to be,
Wow.
by the book.
So he never even, I guess. It was really-
Can it go back on you at all, or that's totally on the hunter? If they go in and kill it, you just found a video, so
It
you
could-
didn't do anything wrong yourself.
It could still come back on me because
But
they
what
would look at it like you should never give him the location of the deer.
Like, I don't know if it was some stage or just some drone operators that like locate the deer. They won't even tell the person, hey, I found him. He's not dead. And like the drone guy don't even like fly beside them so they can't see the information basically. Like that's how I was understanding what this guy was telling. I think it was a YouTube video I was watching. I was doing this, but they weren't even flying the drone and doing anything beside the guy that shot the deer just so he couldn't get that information. And then if the deer was alive, he was.
I wouldn't do that. I don't think. The hunters love it. No, I think that's the main reason some hunters get me out on a 130 or 40.
You're probably finding all kind of deer too when you're flying. Aren't
Yeah.
you? I mean, or
Yeah.
all kind of animals, I guess.
What's the biggest deer you think you've seen with your drone? I mean, just anywhere,
Dead or
dead or alive, just out there.
I'm gonna say probably right around 200 inches. I don't think it was much over that.
We found the 193.
Yeah.
It got shot, so I'm guessing we know the score of that one. So you think that was the biggest one, or is
The
it?
biggest, like 100%, that was the 193.
Yeah.
But so I looked for deer down south.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna give the location.
Yeah.
It was they claim it was a 200-inch deer. I don't know. It could have been a 190. It could have been a
Right.
210. Like I have no
You never
idea.
got to see it though.
We did find it.
You did.
Yeah, it was a mainframe 14 pointer. I would say it kind of like Kane's deer, just tight frame, but it had enough tines
Yeah.
that it could have went big. So I have no idea. I feel like there's a chance it could have went 200. It's hard to know by looking at it from the top down, especially. But yeah, regardless, that was a really big deer. I don't know. I'd say yeah. I don't think anything much over 200.
Yeah.
On
Well,
the
still,
Yeah,
it's huge.
some giants, regardless.
Yeah. One. So like these drones and scouting. So obviously you said 14 days prior to season. So anything before that you can use them. So like preseason scouting, you can use them early. They're
Yeah.
2 weeks. So what about on like public lands? Can I take these on if I had one for my personal use, can I scout public land with this?
You can, but what they can't control the airspace above public, but if you take off from private land, you can fly over public, and there's nothing they can do about it. So if you were going to do it, you would have to take off
From private.
from private. Yeah.
What's your range on your drone?
I would say out to 2 miles probably.
You could get all this.
Oh,
Glendale, it's 15 yards.
In this situation, I would say like,
You got in the truck.
yeah, I do.
Let's fly.
I can't hunt it now.
We're all tagged down here. Don't nobody release your information on the game behind here.
I guess that's true if you're not hunting it, or you technically not. Well, you kind of are scouting, I guess, but not really. You're not hunting
Well, okay, so
it. Could you do it right now?
I can do it right now. So what the regulation book says is as an aid in taking that animal.
Oh.
So that's where like I can scout with it any time of the year, but as soon as I go in to take that animal or hunt it, that's when it's illegal.
Gotcha.
So yeah, like once I kill my buck on our farms, that's when I start flying.
Gotcha.
At that point, I don't care as much anymore. Like it's not a risk at that point.
So it's the same rules with any animal, like turkeys, for instance. Like if I want to go
Anything
find
but-
where turkeys are roosted.
Yeah, same thing. Anything but a nuisance animal, which I asked about coyotes and they said no. I don't know how.
Well, it is kind of a season. They kind of have a season, so.
Yeah.
Right, but like on our property,
They're a
they're a
nuisance
nuisance
all-
animal to me. Like, so in that case, I don't know. I don't know where that.
I guess not talking about like coyotes and stuff like that. So like at the end of the year, you said after you shoot your deer. So you're like, I think you said last year you would take them up and like getting like deer, like herd deer buck to doe ratios and stuff like that. Have you done that on any other properties other than your own?
Yeah. So I was actually down in Tennessee yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I'd pay.
Yeah.
People would pay for that, I'm sure.
Yeah. It was
I mean,
That's what I would want.
That'd be
do
awesome.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Blast.
that's one of my favorite things about it is just meeting. Like
Mhm.
I meet a ton of new people. Like just a ton of new friendships out of
Yeah.
it. But
So
Yeah.
how do you do? How's that work? Like, tell us how you go to a property and do a herd ratio kind of thing.
so yeah, I just basically fly the entire property and any surrounding areas that they want looked at, and then I'll give you a number of does and a number of bucks.
You count them all. You just count them all. You're not doing like this amount here. It's not I don't know. It's like a summary or you're literally counting every single.
Yeah, I'm
deer
counting
in the
every
whole
deer
property.
on that property. Yeah. So
How long would that take?
that depends. I would
obviously
say
depending on the size of the
You got
property.
10 acres.
Right, yeah,
I mean, a typical farm, say just like 100-acre farm.
probably about 30 minutes.
Oh my!
Yeah, 100 acres isn't gonna take.
How many deer would be counted down there in court?
It's insane how many deer have on my property.
Yeah.
You would be counting a lot, I'm guessing.
How many acres is it?
It's 200.
200.
But I'll see 30 does at a time in the timber
Yeah,
on any given ridge. So
I'm gonna say 2 hours max. Like it's
That would be
with 200 acres, 2 hours max.
like what is a deer now? Like on 200 acres, like how many deer normally are you finding?
I would say 50 would be on the low side, 150 on the high side, probably. I would say around 100 would be average. 70 to 80, I would say, would be average on 200 acres.
What
And
is
is that like right here where we're at, Southern Indiana? That's what you're seeing for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah. So on our 240 acres, I was counting last season around 70 to 80 deer. You know, just looking at it from me hunting it, trail cameras, the data that I could get without the drone, I would have said there was maybe 30 deer. So, you know, it's crazy.
So
how many more deer?
flying, and this is just basically information from us. Flying that drone after season last year, I guess when you did the herd analysis, you said obviously you're doing it before they shed because you were able to do that. Did you find any bucks that you could tell that you didn't have on trail camera that were on the property? Was there any random deer there that you didn't know about?
Not at the farm in Alfordsville, but the other farm, it seemed like that I would find deer that we didn't have as much.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more common, more like I'd seen it more on that farm, but the other farm, it was
You seemed
you know
you thought you had them
just
all.
deer
Yeah.
that we had pictures of. Like
Cameras these days, I think we know. That's why, like, I was talking with somebody the other day about this. Like, you know, everybody's hoping for that random buck to show up during the rut and stuff, and it don't seem like that happens near as much anymore. You don't get that deer coming in. Well,
Mhm.
I think it's because we know of so many deer now because everybody's got trail cameras. You got
Yeah.
so many trail cameras around.
Yep.
Normally, he's made a lap or two through your property before the rut,
Yeah.
and you know. You got him, and then he shows up in the rut again. So I just didn't know how many random, if you found any.
Well, this is kind of interesting. So there was a 170-inch deer that we had on one of our properties, and we had pictures of this deer twice last season in December. And after the season went out, I was kind of curious on if I could find this deer, and I fly up, find him 150 yards from the camera that was there the whole entire time. Found him 4 or 5 other days that I had flew the property in the same exact bed or in that area and 150 yards from the camera. So that told me that he's probably been there the entire time that camera was there and he just wasn't like moving.
Yeah.
You know,
You just can't get pictures everywhere. That's the thing. It's insane.
You know, he was bedding that close to that camera and that camera
I want to
wasn't.
see the corn pile change. I'm not saying in season. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
corn pile.
But that's what it goes back to the camera use on the last episode. It's like it either hinders you, like
Yeah,
it goes both ways. I'm not hunting. I haven't
Yeah.
seen that deer in how long, and he's 100 yards from
Yeah.
the camera. You can't see the whole property.
No.
What was the average like buck to doe ratio? Was that pretty uniform
That's what-
around here
For this area, yeah.
the area, or was it just like hit or miss on property?
Well, on a couple farms it would be 1 to 2, and then like
1 buck,
the-
2 does.
Yeah, 1 buck, 2 does, and then the Alfordsville property is like 1 to 7 or 8. So
We
it's
got
way-
shoot does,
yeah,
man.
it's bad out of whack there.
You know how bad it sucks to go and not see a deer.
But yeah, that just varies from area to area.
I wonder why it's so bad now. I do that.
I don't know.
I don't
Just
know.
not enough does being shot
well.
because they're born 1 to 1. Like
Yeah,
nature,
But he
brings-
also
I
said
agree.
you also said it's 240 acres, right?
Yeah.
And you only found 70 deer, so that's actually a low number, right? So you should have more bucks. So that means maybe more of the younger bucks are getting shot some way or another than what you would like to see.
Yeah, you would think that the farms that are being managed halfway that you can manage big enough are having better numbers, better ratios.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And there's also in the late season when I'm flying, you might find bucks group up and they're going to be on a food source that they want at that time of year. So there's a chance that half of the bucks in the area are a mile away on a different food source too.
Yeah.
So when would be the best time to get that true ratio of what's on a farm? What time of year would that be? Summer?
Probably summer, yeah.
Because it can't be rut because they're all over the place.
15 days before deer.
Yeah,
No, honestly, though, that's probably right because, like, you say summer, but then, like, I have a buck on our farm that
Yeah.
I had a picture of him one time on summer, and now I get a picture of him every day throughout.
Well, yeah, me and Weston, one of the places it's his ground. I mean, we have deer throughout the summer that we get pictures of them, and then we never see them again. And we just hope that they show up now.
I feel like that's how this is the Judy's. There's bucks never there throughout the year, and it seems
It's
like
the opposite. You got the flip flop.
yeah, they start showing up, September,
Mhm.
that time frame. But it's not big enough. It's not a true farm where you can, because it's just all ag, basically. It's all fields.
At the same time, though, bucks are still going to be grouped up in the summer. So
Yeah.
I don't know. There probably isn't a good time to get an accurate deer.
And it'd be hard too
ratio
because
or whatever.
there's just not big enough properties. You'd have to take a whole general area, something
Yeah.
like 1,000 acres or something, and get that average in for that area, because they're going to hold in different pockets of woods based on cover and cry and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure. But yeah, that'd be kind of interesting to do that. Get like local, neighbors all together and be like, hey, let's all take it.
Well, you don't have to get. I mean,
Well, that's true.
there's not property lines, right? I mean, you just fly as long as
No.
you can.
Another gray area with that. I mean, like you don't control the airspace over your property,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, there's a law that says you can't get electronic surveillance of private property, which I don't know if that's goes with the drone, like looking at deer. I don't know how that is, because I've had people tell me that if you ever fly the thing over my property, I'm shooting it down.
You ain't allowed
Yeah.
to do that.
No, you're going to prison. Yeah, it's a federal offense.
To
if you-
shoot down.
Yeah. Yeah,
What are you
don't
supposed to do if you got somebody, some
In your
creeper?
yard.
What if some creeper dude is flying right here and
Nothing you
watching
do about
you
it, call the cops.
in your wife's bedroom back there?
So even if they are, in
What are you
the
supposed to do?
wrong-
Call the cops?
Yeah, just call the law. I don't-
You can't shoot and throw a net up there. And just hit it. I don't know. No, I mean, I just seen a Facebook video. You're like, last week, the cops knocking on the door, old man opens the door, and hey, did you shoot a drone down?
Come on. I don't understand why it's that big of a fence. It
Because
seems
it's an-
excessive.
I would say it's because it's an aircraft. I realize it's not a manned aircraft. Yeah, it's
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah,
Do you,
guess
do you
Judge
see
Barnes-
do you see more laws getting made probably in the next couple of years? I mean, this is all relatively new idea
Yeah.
to everybody.
I think they will. At least I hope they do. There's several laws that I would like to see them come out with, but I have no idea.
Well, you need to go sit on some DNR boards when they're having a hearing or something. Just put your word
No,
in.
they have to ask me first.
I can't just go
Just show up. You can show up. Public hearing.
Yeah.
I wish, one law that I wish they would have is that if there is a deer wounded, that there would be a way to go in and put it out of its misery. That's one.
Seems like the ethical thing to
Yeah.
do in that situation.
But there's so many that live. So
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
it's not a lethal wound.
How many times do you see a deer that's been shot in the low stomach, living 2 weeks later, and all kinds of high back, got blood down its side? And it's
Well,
still-
I mean, just like that one that Reed shot last year.
yeah, I guess you knew.
Yeah, it got shot this
year.
Yeah.
And it was a rifle. I mean,
Yeah.
high in the spine. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pretty much blew his back straps in half.
Well, yeah, did Lane send you the pictures of that? Lane
Yeah.
said, like,
He survived.
Yeah.
Survived last year. Yeah, Reed shot the deer last year.
And who shot it this year?
Miller.
Why?
Lane was cleaning the deer, and when he was cutting the back straps out, the spine and everything was fattened up and messed up. And when he pulled the back strap literally stopped.
Wow.
Isn't that like a muscle they're walking with?
Yeah.
How are they?
Yeah, it seems like that's what supports
Yeah.
the body of the deer.
Yeah.
You think about it, just like us back,
Yeah.
we got back straps.
What when somebody hits a deer? This is way off topic. I don't know if it matters. When somebody hits a deer in no man's land, like that spot up there, where is that at? Is that below the spine in the cavity, but does it touch top of the lungs or anything, or is that? Does anybody know?
I don't see how it's possible because the lungs go above the spine a little bit.
Do
Like
they?
they go up.
The back strap is with the spine, right? And if you said that back strap was cut in half,
Not
that
the
had to
spine.
hit
It just
the
missed the
Well,
spine.
so
The
you
bullet
have
could have went
about
in
2
and tumbled and
inches.
just missed it and just caused, flesh damage.
So the main part of the spine is actually down about 2 inches
Yeah.
from the deer. Like you have little fingers that go up,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why the deer dropped for like 5 minutes because it probably stunned it.
But you see some of them guys shooting these deer with bows, like on TV, and like people that are saying, "Oh, I hit him in no man's land," and I mean they're 2 inches down off the spine. Like, I mean, like I don't know, you guys have seen shots, and they say no man's land. I wonder what that is. Like, and then you'll see a picture of the deer that's got like a black hole in it 2 weeks later where it just healed up perfectly. But I just didn't know if that's getting in the cavity, like we're going through the cavity and not touching anything, and deer are
Biologists.
I seen, but like those deer, they're tougher than males.
They are.
What would you say? Where most people, I guess the ones you recover, where are these people hitting them? That the most common mistake, like most common bad shot, where are they hitting at?
Shoulder.
Shoulder.
Like it is crazy how many people think that hitting a deer as close to the shoulder as possible is the best shot you can make. And what happens if you get too far forward into the shoulder? It's a very low recovery. I mean, it's low recovery rate on that shot because, I mean, to put it simple, the shoulder is the front side of the vitals.
Mhm.
So I think too many people, especially with a bow, think they want to tuck that shoulder and then they end up hitting it or get in front of the shoulder, whatever it may be, and then it's a bad shot.
Yeah. So I got a question. You may have no idea. What broadheads are people using that are having the worst luck finding deer?
careful.
Fixed? Fixed or
okay? I answer this, and I may judge it.
This is just evidence based. It's not his judgment.
I'm both ways. I see it both ways.
You know, I don't want to hate on any broadheads.
No,
Honestly, mechanical broadheads are one of the worst, and it seems like Rage is a very common one. But at the same time,
It's the most popular.
it is the most
More people are using it.
More people are using Rage than any other mechanical, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any broadhead is going to kill a deer. It doesn't matter
If you hit it in the right
Yeah,
spot.
most broadheads are going to struggle to get through a shoulder. At
Yeah,
this
I
is
agree.
25 yards or farther. they're gonna
Fixed
struggle.
blades are going to do better.
Obviously. Yeah, you can't argue.
Yeah.
But what about the new broadheads, these beast broadheads with that bone penetration stuff?
I don't think I've tracked a deer shot with a beast yet. They just chop the deer.
We had a guy this year, he shot at a tree, through the tree.
Said he went through the tree and hit the deer.
Cut the sapling in half.
That's a good selling point.
I got sold. I bought them last year. I did sell myself when I shot a deer and hit it. Had a terrible shot, and I give it to that broadhead that was able to kill the deer, penetrating enough to get it. So,
Well, what about the 12? What happened with him?
with the 12, that was a
You're wrong, broadhead.
That's user error.
that was panic had set in, misjudgment of a lot of things.
Oh, it's the distance. That's right.
It's a far shot for me anyway.
It wasn't nothing to do with the penetration or anything.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like this topic you could get talking about for
Oh, I love the broadhead topic. I could go on for days about this, and I do. I actually shot it. I have fixed heads that I have, but they're like a Magnus Black Hornets or something like that, and I love them.
Well,
I've never shot a deer with them, but man, they look good. I've shot at squirrels with them, and they fly great. And that was my biggest thing on fixed heads is a lot of times, and this is old information, so it could have been that my bow wasn't tuned great. But
Yeah.
now my bow being tuned better and stuff, I used to have trouble getting them to fly right. Now, with these ones I'm shooting at, they seem to fly amazing. So I don't know. That was why I steered away with them. But
Yeah. I'll tell you a story. I'm giving you, you make the right shot. It doesn't matter. One night, me and my dad, this was a long time ago. It was cold. We're sitting in a box of taters. I borrowed Steve's crossbow. We're sitting in the box. You can't shoot a bow out of these boxes because they're like tiny windows. And I was determined to shoot a doe. So I, grab, there's 3 broadheads in the, or, 3 arrows, broadheads in the thing, throw it. One comes right down, shoot it. Perfect. Like perfect shot.
mm-hmm.
Get down there later, get the doe. The arrow's still sticking in it. I'm like, it's kind of weird. You'd think that that'd just go right through him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I pull the arrow out, and I'm looking. It's a practice. It's a practice broadhead. So it's not sharp,
Yeah, right.
but it just penetrated, hit the heart, and stopped on the backside.
Did it kill it?
Yeah, it went like 20 yards. It put right through the heart.
See, that's why.
But
It's
I could
not
use the
broad
field
head.
point. I could use the field point and kill
kills
it.
them.
But I was like, oh my gosh, they look just like the regular, and it's not mine. So I was
You're
like,
shooting the broadhead you choose is basically you're shooting that broadhead. In my opinion, for your marginal shots, and I think more times than not, my marginal shot is going to be back. So I want the biggest cutting diameter that I can get. In most cases, that's a mechanical broadhead. So that's why I have felt
That's like he said, just staying away from the shoulder. Like if you do have that big cutting or bigger cutting broadhead, you're still going to have the blood trail, and it's still going to you're going to get the deer.
What kind of
Yeah.
broadheads do you shoot? Go ahead.
I shoot the cutthroats, but what a.
I would have had an argument.
Oh, you don't like the cutthroats?
No, I just like the argument based.
Right.
For I'm an argumentative person. You shoot a heavy arrow too?
I think my arrow setup's like 465 grains or something.
really?
It's medium. It's
Yeah,
not
my arrow's
light, not heavy.
515.
Yeah.
So it's a heavier arrow, but
and he's pulling 40 pounds.
47 yards. So you can imagine the
Yeah.
fly. Up there.
You could have hit the backside backstrap before you hit the front.
It was sinking in there. Aerofly looked beautiful. I thought.
Golly.
Well, I guess we're getting kind of long here, but I don't know. You got any good stories? Any ones that you remember that stick out, or
Yeah, I got a couple. One, I was down in Evansville. This was last year. It was about it was in Newburgh, almost right at the edge of town or whatever. So it's kind of in a suburban area. And
was it Ryan?
It could have been.
it could have been. I don't know. We were looking for this deer. It was on a Sunday morning at like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And so there were hunters in the woods. And looking for this deer, I see this hot spot. I'm like, what kind of deer is this? I light it up and it's a hunter.
Oh, no.
Sitting at the bottom of the tree.
Just waiting to climb up.
Yeah, and I'll come back to him. Go, keep looking. I do it again. Light up 2 more hunters. Like they're sitting there looking up at me with their guns in hand.
What time of year was this? Gun season?
Yeah, guns. It was,
That would have been awesome if it
yeah,
was.
it was the Sunday after opening day, and never, like that's the only 2 hunters I've ever shown, and it happens twice at the same spot. But yeah, the guy that I was looking for tells me that guy that was sitting at the base of the tree, no way he had permission to be there. No, like
Just
no
because the
hunter-
property's
around
Yeah,
there.
like,
This
this
is private property.
Yeah, it's private property, and he knew no one was allowed to hunt this property at all. So like
Oh, he
we
was.
take,
He was tucking to the
about
tree.
15 minutes later, we go back over and like we see him, and he is headed to the truck.
Or just on all
But
fours, trying to look like an animal.
But put yourself in that situation. You're
Oh.
on a property you don't have permission on,
Yeah.
and then you hear this drone.
You think it's the cops?
It lights you up. I'm getting.
So you
I'm headed to
shine.
the
You
truck.
shine.
I don't know.
He's like shining spotlight.
Yeah, I had a spotlight. Yeah.
It looks like daylight outside
Yeah.
for a second.
Oh
So,
my god.
Yeah, he was like staring straight. Then I had a guy call me. He said he shot a deer. He never even looked for blood or anything. So I go up there and you can tell he's been drinking. He's feeling pretty good. He's like, man, I shot the deer. He's right over there, right at the edge of the woods. And I don't know. I shot. He ran into the woods. I never even looked for blood. So I fly up, find the deer like 50 yards inside the woods. Get up there. He pays me $400 to find this deer, and then he offers to give it to me. Yeah, he offered to give it.
Was it a doe?
No, it was a buck, but it was smaller than what he thought. What I feel like he had in mind is
Get rid of it.
get rid of it. I don't have to tag it in. But yeah, he pays me $400 to find a deer, and then wanted to give it away. I thought that was kind of, that was the first time that's ever happened.
Wow. Well, we're about to wrap it up. Is there any other last second questions here?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was good. We might have to have you back on here again sometime, maybe next season or something.
We'll have to go do some herd analysis this winter. Get back into the land management side of things.
Yeah, so I guess if anybody listening to this still, if you're still hanging on, best way to reach you is on Facebook or
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. Phone number, I guess, would be a good way.
is that on? It's listed on there, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's
it's
on
listed on the
Eye in
Facebook
the Sky
page.
Deer Recovery. Yeah,
That's right.
Reach out to him.
Yeah.
Game management, herd analysis, tracking deer, anything.
Or just find out if you have the question, right? I mean, you can
Yeah.
answer. You can say yes or no if you can
Yeah.
do it. So,
Yep.
yeah, reach out to him, Jeremy Yoder with Eye in the Sky. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. And hope you can find some more giants, and hopefully we don't have to call you.